Welcome to episode 2 of In Search of. Today's guest is CEO and founder of Stronger You Nutrition, Mike Doehla. I'm sure plenty of you are familiar with Stronger You. Those of you who are not, it's the company I work for. So I've chosen Mike as my first guest because he's been a great force in the industry. His influence convinced me to forgo my solo practice and come on board to work for someone else, which I never thought I would do. But he really has created a great community. It's given me much more purpose to be part of a greater whole. It's the best job I've ever had, including working for myself. And to be honest, Mike's become much more than a boss. He's become a close friend. I mean, we talk daily. He's someone I would turn to for advice in anything, really. He's just a phenomenal human being. He's become extremely successful, still also extremely humble. The guy that helps him kind of keep this thing afloat is his best friend from childhood, Mike Doehla. He's just got a great story. So I want to talk to him, and I want you guys to learn a little bit more about him. Here it is, In Search of Mike Doehla. All right, guys, welcome to the first episode of the new podcast I'm putting together here, In Search of. So, basically, my first guest I've chosen today is Mike Doehla for a variety of reasons, but mostly because this whole series is going to be about kind of people who I think have defined success in a way that's not really necessarily monetary or even business. It's just people that have kind of achieved something that I think is worthwhile and that provides benefit to the world. So Mike is kind of a guy I think of as like an aspirational character. I hate the term inspirational because it seems cheesy, but Mike's a guy that I think a lot of people would want to be like. He's well liked. He's nice. He's been successful. But there's no maliciousness. There's none of the cutthroat things you usually see in business. So to start off, just to give a kind of background, how I'm going to do with every guest is how we kind of first got to know each other. Is we were at a seminar, and at the time Mike's business was really growing. He was meeting a lot of people in the industry, and we had been at a seminar, I guess maybe a week or two before, and hadn't talked to whatever, but he recognized me and he came over and said, "Hey, were you at this seminar?" Now, for those of you not familiar with the fitness industry, this is a very odd thing for someone to do, because outside of like strength and conditioning coaches and this kind of other side of the industry, the fitness part of it is very insular, kind of introverted, and it was something I was new to, but everyone basically had their noses buried in a computer or a phone and didn't actually talk to people. So Mike coming up and saying hi was a very odd experience, and honestly, kind of what I think he can attribute a lot of the success to in the industry. So start off, Mike, will you just give kind of people a little background, a quick synopsis of what Stronger You is and what you do?
Yeah, my name is Mike Doehla. I'm the CEO, founder of Stronger You Nutrition. It's an online nutrition company that services people all around the world from all walks of life. Our goal is to just make people feel a little better, help them with their goals, and cut the BS out of nutrition. I got into the industry because I really just wanted to help a bunch of people. I liked the fitness industry, and early failure in my fitness career led me to the online space. I tried to do a small training garage, didn't really work out, and I leveraged and pivoted over to the online nutrition space because I thought that was a place where I could really help a lot more people. There was a lot more access to doing what I think people needed to do.
You had a kind of an experience in, I guess, like the internet, really, because that's one of the things we talked about is you spent a lot of time kind of in these chat rooms, these things that I didn't really know much about.
Yeah, man, I swear, man, it's crazy. Like, I was practicing for this job for like 15 years. I lived on message boards and chat rooms, talking to strangers about everything from car stuff, movie stuff, fitness stuff, everything. So I was so comfortable and so used to talking to people and communicating via the internet for it had to be 15 years or so.
Which is funny because you say that communicating via the internet, that's really a relatively new skill set, something that's kind of developed. Because I know for me, it's actually, if you look at a lot of people, it's pretty difficult. Some people are worse than others, but kind of understanding that balance of hey, I want to be myself, but also things get out of hand quickly on the internet, and kind of balancing that.
Dude, the thing with the internet is you don't know really who you're talking to, and people really aren't polite on the internet. And that's what I think is really cool about our community at Stronger You on Facebook. Everybody's cool as hell. But if you go onto some random message board where you don't have to use your real name or share your real pictures, people are just a-holes, for lack of a better word. It's really rough out there.
Yeah, shoot, even in our industry, there's people that kind of built a reputation on being that way.
Yeah, it's crazy to me that people can talk to people like that over the internet because they know they're not in the same room with them. Things would be completely different if you were in the same room with someone.
Yeah, and not just in the fact that how you talk to people, and I know I was guilty of it at times. I mean, there was times around. Around a different election, and people got heated, and it would easily turn personal. Now, now I just keep all that off the internet because it's really useless. I mean, you're not changing anyone's mind.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm still sarcastic here and there, but I'm not gonna be a complete jerk to people.
Yeah, it's taking that personal thing. So,
yeah.
What do you think drove you to want to get into fitness and nutrition?
Dude, it had to be a combination of like not really being happy with my job at the time, just wanting to like make people a little bit better and work in an industry that I thought would be fun. Everybody wants to enjoy work, and I knew it was probably a difficult, request to myself to try to make that happen, but I tried to give it a shot, and so far so good.
When did you decide that that's what you wanted to do?
I think it was around 2010-ish is when my buddy Greg Light was helping me via the internet, who I met on the internet, piece together a garage gym. And I was just working out myself, and then some friends would come by and I would help them out. And I'm like, holy crap, man, this is really fun. I wonder if I could make this a thing. And I had every idea in my head, from one-on-one personal training to group style training to buying a box truck and driving to people's houses and training them. But I still had to try to make this work around my full-time job. And that was the hard part. When you don't have money saved up and things aren't exactly easy financially, you can't just go and quit your job and try to do those things. So I had to figure out a way to do both at the same time for at least a little while.
Now, were you just really into working out?
Yes and no. Like, I wasn't like one of those like musclehead dudes that just lived and breathed fitness stuff. But it was a hobby of mine. It was a deep interest.
How about growing up? Did you play sports?
Yeah, I was very into sports. I didn't play high school or anything. I always make the joke that I was actually too good to play high school basketball, and they wanted to give the other kids a chance. Me and all our good friends, we used to play recreationally and stuff. So I was a really athletic kid, but I was a small kid. I think I graduated high school at like 145 pounds.
So growing up, was nutrition something that your parents were into?
Dude, no, man. I was that kid that was eating like hot dogs, tater tots, and Kool-Aid. Yeah, don't get me wrong. My mother fed me well, but we ate a lot of snacks. I was lucky because I was extremely active, so I could burn a lot of calories, but a lot of other kids in that situation wouldn't have been so lucky.
Now, do you think that any of this stuff sparked at that time? I mean, is there any of that maybe led to where you are now?
Honestly, I think it was a lot later in life. I don't know if any of that really led to it. All it did was help me prove to people that Kool-Aid isn't going to kill you if you drink it. It's not that big of a deal.
So what do you think the driving factor for that was? I mean, like where because obviously, and this is kind of what this whole thing is really about, is kind of digging into the why. There's plenty of podcasts where you can talk to successful people and find out the hacks they did or whatever
Right.
bullshit people say. But I'm more interested in like why, like what made you. Because there's a drive in you that
Right.
still is very, very. I mean, it's not dying at all. So there's
So I can
something
tell you,
deeper.
I can tell you exactly what it is. It was spending so much time on the internet and being surrounded by BS and knowing I had an answer to it. When I saw people just talking about all this nutrition stuff and they had no clue what was going on, they had no self-awareness of what they were really doing, and I'm sitting here like, I know what they need to do. I know how to talk to people. I know how to figure things out. I know how to get them to do things they don't really want to do in the right conditions. So I felt like I needed to get that shit out there.
So it was more of a kind of desire to kind of, I mean, this is a little bit melodramatic, but to kind of right injustice, like to kind of help where you saw that people were being hurt.
Right. It's like you're like a superhero of like people's feelings. Like these people are struggling for years and years and years. Like the statistics on dieting are insane. And I'm sitting here with like ammo in my pocket and I'm not going to do anything about it. Like that's why I tell people to talk about their stuff. Like if you think you can help someone or make someone better in any way and you're not sharing that, you're doing a disservice to the world.
So what have you struggled with?
To my own, I mean, it's like my own goals. I would love to be super muscular, jacked and ripped, but I always go back and forth because there's a certain person. You have to be a certain person to line up with a particular goal. And I don't know if I'm that person because I have so many other things I'm interested in that it's not as important to me to be big and jacked as it is to live a different type of life. And this is what I tell a lot of our clients when they want to, they want to be super lean and muscular, but they just won't do those things. And that's personally what I struggle with. I don't really care enough to get the goal I really want. And that's something I've accepted, but I can still make strides towards it. I just won't get that ultimate goal.
Now, how about leading up to this? Like, I mean, what were your struggles as a kid? Like, what were your hard, we all had, whether it be fitting in or, or like, for a lot of our clients, obviously it's body issues or things like that. What was it that you struggled with at that time?
Dude, I was the most shy person in the world. It's hard for people to see that now, but when I was a little kid, like I was attached to my mom's hip. Like we would go to her friend's house. I wouldn't interact with anybody. I would go to school. I remember going on the school bus, like crying, like, oh my God, I got to be around people. Even in high school, I had my little group of friends, but I wasn't outspoken. I didn't really joke around like I do now. I didn't put myself out there. I just kind of like blended in. So that's like why I think maybe, and now we're getting like super deep, which is a good thing, why I was so good at the internet, because it was a place that I could talk to people without feeling like everyone was just judging me.
It's really interesting. So this same kind of protection that lets people be assholes was also the thing that allowed you to kind of be the person that you needed to be.
Right. I could go there and everything I probably wanted to say to people in person and in groups, I could say to people there without having that like one-on-one judgment. And I mean, even now we feel it. Like if I go to present somewhere and I'm talking to 50 people, I'm like, oh man, but I could get on Facebook Live and I could talk to 120 and I feel like nobody's even watching. Mm-hmm. Or I can post to our Facebook group and there's almost 14,000 people in there. I'm talking to 14,000 people could view what I'm saying and I don't even care. But the thought when I was younger to talk to 5 people, like, holy crap, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to sit here and shut up.
So kind of in that line, This is actually my mom. My mom asked threw this question, and I'm gonna actually ask this of every guest because I think it's so good. Um, so, with what you did growing up, were you trying to please your parents or trying to piss them off more?
I I would say neither. I was just the normal. I was a pretty good kid. I didn't do anything really crazy. My mom was really. She was the type of parent that was like, just let me know where you are. Like, I know you're smart enough not to get into stupid stuff. Just let me know where you are. So I didn't really try to piss them off. I didn't really try to make anybody happy. I was just kind of like doing my thing.
Now, how do you think that's transferred over into your adult life?
Oh man. Maybe. I guess I would say I'm relatively the same person. I don't really try to ruffle feathers. I don't really go out. I mean, I do try to go out of my way to please, my clients and stuff, but I do understand that you can't make everybody happy every single day. So maybe.
Yeah, and I think there's a difference to be noted that trying to please your clients from a customer service standpoint versus a need for acceptance.
Yeah. But
That's
out in the wild, like random people, I don't care what they think of me. I'm concerned with, what I say, how it's going to be received and things like that. But I'm not going to let that determine whether I say something or not. I'm not, as long as I'm not ruffling feathers, I don't care what people think.
have you always been like that?
No, man. I used to really care what people think. Like even when I first started this job, I almost didn't do it because a lot of people close to me convinced me I didn't know what the hell I was doing and I was a shithead and I probably shouldn't even try. So I almost didn't do it because I was so worried what everyone would think. And dude, it was hard, man. I'm putting stuff out there and I'm like, oh man, this guy I'm really good friends with or this girl I'm friends with, they're going to think I'm just this internet idiot. And it almost stopped me from doing it.
It's crazy. I
Yeah,
mean, if we really think about the things that could
man,
have stopped us
it's
from doing.
nuts. That I think about it every day. Like every little thing you do led you to exactly where you are today. If you tie your shoe differently, your life is different. It changes the time of everything. It's really kind of crazy to think about.
So this is one of the things I think interesting because I don't see you as a money driven person.
Hmm.
I think it's a metric, obviously, that is important when you're in business because it's kind of like we use certain data to assess whether or not clients are doing well for fat loss.
Right.
Money is a real thing, and I think there's an avoidance of always talking about it because it's this taboo subject. But what is your relationship with money? Because here's why I ask this. I used to work in banking,
Yep.
and I'm not even talking about it as an abstract thing. I'm thinking as a literal. There's some kind of thing that made you think about money. What was that?
I think of money like it's weird because when you don't have any, you want a lot of it. And then once you get it, you realize that it's important to a sense to provide a life that you want to live and security and retirement and things like that and helping other people, but it's not going to make you happier. And this is something I see everywhere. Everyone is chasing money. Everybody thinks if they make a certain amount, they're going to be happier. But I think there's like studies out there that show above $70,000 a year, you're not any more happier due to money. And it's just like, for me, it's just like, it's this thing that makes me worry about bills less. I don't need a bunch of stuff. I just like to experience stuff. And one of the coolest things about like the success of the business is that it allows us to take care of other people. And this is why I don't understand why these like sports players will have a good relationship with a team making $20 million a year, but they'll go to another team for $23 million. I'm like, what? At that point, what is that worth?
Right.
Why bother? But it's different people, I guess.
It's interesting because I think we spend again that kind of that idea of the fact that either it's everything or nothing. Like there has to be this
Yep.
really dichotomous relationship with money. When, like you said, it's once you get to, and I think that's 70,000 household. I don't think that counts in New York because I think that's still
Yeah, no, no.
poverty. But it really is, and that's one of the big reasons I want to do this podcast because like I said, I'm determining success not on a monetary, but there's a certain level of monetary, you know, sustainability. I think that we do need. Like you said, I was like, I love the fact to go out to dinner and not think about it. Like if it's,
Right.
whatever, it's not. I'm not like, when when am I getting paid? Like, can I afford this? That's a nice
Right, like the
feeling.
cell phone bill comes and you're like, oh my God, I can't make this payment this month. Like that would have happened in the past.
Sure,
That's the thing you don't have to stress about, and there's something really cool about that.
And I think the other thing is that once there becomes, especially with a business, there also becomes added stressors with added money.
No money, no problems.
Yeah, I mean, you have now 50 people to worry about.
Yeah.
There's obviously a bigger spotlight on you when it comes to, just tax people and like labor people. It's just everything. All of a sudden, it's there's those things. I think a lot of people, and we live in our industry. There's this. So again, those of you who aren't familiar with the fitness industry, there's like a whole contingent of guys that take pictures in their driveway with their Lamborghini and tell other people that they can make all this money by just doing these things. It's really fucking gross.
It pisses me off, man. It pisses me off. It attracts like these people that think that they're going to get $1 million, or in this industry, for some reason, 6 figures is like the magic number. When you get that, you're going to want more, and then you're going to get more, and then you're going to want more. So it's like the fat loss thing, man. If you're trying to get lean to just make yourself happy, getting rich is not going to make you happy.
Yeah.
You have to create a life for yourself that brings you that happiness. Money can help, money can support it, but no person with money looks at their bank account and just sits there like becoming happier. It just doesn't work like that.
Well, I had a conversation with my cousin when he's an attorney, and he ended up going to work in-house counsel for a company, super, way happier. And it was, you look around at these law firms and you see guys chasing to partner, and they finally get to partner and they're divorced and they're at the office at 10 o'clock at night. And it's basically they get to that point where it's like, okay, what do you do now? You go home and fill your bathtub up with cash and roll around in it? Or, I mean, what is right. You just pissed away 20 years of your life and you're like, okay, wow, that nothing changed. Now I just missed out on, the years of 22 to 42.
Right.
And I'm the same guy.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And that's like we could make some moves on the back end that would put more money in my pocket, but I'd have to work a lot more.
Yeah.
There's days where, dude, like if I want to just take a few hours and just do whatever the hell I want to do, I can do that because I know there's such good people around us that will make sure the ship is afloat. And like I couldn't even imagine like if if someone was like, hey, I'm going to give you this much money for your business. You have to retire and just sit on a boatload of cash. What the hell would I even do with myself?
Right.
But this is what I want to do. A hobby turned into a career. How lucky am I?
Yeah, it's a weird time in the world right now that can happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's we make fun of the laptop entrepreneur guys. We're like, oh, I'm going to go work. But in all honesty, I think the crazy realization I had was my wife Sarah, took a business trip down to Charleston, and it was the first time I'd opened my personal training studio, and I was pretty much resolved to the fact that I was not going to be able to be gone for more than 2 days for the next couple years. And I had started working Stronger You, and I went down, and I actually sat on the beach. Now, sitting on the beach is pretty boring, so I just worked, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is real."
This is where it's funny because when I see those guys trying to sell the laptop lifestyle and like you can build your business on the internet and make this much money. I'm like, dude, there's like 20 people doing it. It's this is not a thing really, but we are in a time where we can do some crazy things due to technology, but it's just not common.
No, and I think too is we're Americans. We love get rich quick scheme. We love it to happen easy, and I think with you, like you said, yeah, it's Stronger You's what 3.5 years old now,
Yeah.
and you and I, when we met, started talking and realized that we've been showing up at the same seminars for 5 or 6 years.
Right.
You said you've been on the internet for 15 years talking to people, building a network. I mean, at the end of the day, you
That's
build a
it,
big
man.
enough network, that's something to capitalize on.
And that's what because I love giving advice to people in the industry. Like if I can help out, I'm satisfied. And a lot of them are like, well, what do I do? I started my business. Now, how do I get clients? I'm like, dude, like everyone sees what we did when we started. Like as soon as I started, it blew up because of all the stuff I did prior. So if you start your business now and you want to be successful now, you might not be the person that can be successful yet because you didn't build the networks or even learn the shit you need to know.
Yeah.
But
That's the other thing. People come like out of school and they expect that they're going to get handed this.
right. And our COO Michael Essie says he's like, dude, everyone looks at this and they think like, oh, overnight success. Like, no, man. He says overnight success, like 10 years in the making.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Is good. I'm actually going to have him on here, but a good friend of mine that I've known for 20 years, super successful restaurateur, bar owner here in New York, and has restaurants now in multiple cities. And everyone's like, he got lucky. He's an overnight success. I was like,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
been watching this guy fail for 20 years and just grind. And every time he got knocked down, he got up. I mean, I remember when he came to New York to bartend, he said he went on 48 interviews before he got hired
Dude, yeah.
to be a
Nobody
bartender.
sees that stuff. Nobody sees Mike Doehla when he was in his young 30s with a house full of roommates because he didn't have enough money to pay the mortgage. Like, that's the shit nobody sees.
Does that
Now-
drive you to not want to go back there?
So I think the thought of working in an office and having someone like hand me a paycheck for work I don't really like to do is all the motivation I need for this. And then add on top of 50 something team members. Like, I don't want anyone to ever have a shitty job again.
Yeah.
That's the motivation. And that's why I like freak out every day. Like we're slow one day and I'm like, what is going on? Like, oh my God, I start imagining all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, we're in an industry and I think we are the best at what we do. There is nothing to be afraid of. We're making everything better every single day. We're good, man. But my motivation is not having a job I don't like because we spend as humans way too much time doing shit we don't really want to do. And that's really depressing when you think about it.
It really is. I mean, you just look at the people that really, it's the golden handcuffs. I see so many people making great money doing something
yeah.
that they just despise, but they don't necessarily
life's
know what they
over,
want to
man.
do. Yeah,
Life
Yeah.
is over. I mean, it's depressing, man. We don't have that much time.
No, we really don't. And I'm hesitant to tell people like follow your bliss or any of that kind of shit because I just don't think that that's a viable strategy. But I think the beauty of the internet is that if you find something you want to do it on the side.
Yep, that's what I did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You had what? You had like 300 clients while you were
Dude,
still working.
I had 350 active when I quit my full-time job. I probably had 700-ish in that year. And I balanced the two because I didn't know it was real. I didn't know I could quit and the next month wouldn't blow up in my face.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I balanced the two. So I had a number in my head. If I saved it, I would be out. And that wasn't the case because when I had that, I was like, no way, no way.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. Yeah. And everyone's like, well, you could quit and you could always get another job again. And I'm like, that sounds miserable.
Sure.
No way.
And I think it's important too, though, because I remember you were talking about this before. Is that Christy, your fiance? You had a conversation with her, and she said something along the lines of like, "Hey, we'll make it work."
Yeah.
I think that's a huge factor that everyone misses out on, is that little bit of support from someone you love makes it all so much easier.
Dude, it's like it's an unbiased view on like the actual situation. She's like, "All right, dude, you want to do this thing. You'll never know if you don't try it, but I'm here and I'll help if you fall flat on your face." And that's because we weren't together that long at that time. So holy shit,
Really?
man, she's awesome.
Yeah. That's kind of how you know
Oh
someone like
yeah.
that, you know? Because, like, I mean, my wife, we've been together for a long time. Sorry, Sarah. I guess we've been married 11 years now. 12 years. 12. Yeah, 12. After 10 until 15, it doesn't matter. Um, so, we've been through a lot of times where, between the recession, times when I've transitioned careers, one of us is up, one's down. And, it's how, we were lucky in that, kind of similar situation. Like, we started off as like, all right, we're building our careers together.
Yep.
And, but just knowing that support system's there. And I think so many people that are successful in so many realms that say, oh, it was easy, I did this, your safety net was a small safety net. But when someone's like, oh, it was easy, I did this, and they've got a, $200 million trust fund, you're like,
Yeah.
eh.
Soul Orwell posted about this. I think he reposted an old post where it was someone that had like some success story in some magazine or website, and it was like the dude got a fat check from his family to start. It's like, yeah, man, the chances of failure are a lot less when you have something like that. For someone to start from nothing, that's the tough thing.
Yeah. And you don't have that same bravado as you do, because
Right.
what people don't realize, again, the behavior, the why, people are much more likely to take risks when they know there's no real risk to be taken. It's
Right.
easy.
And that's why it's funny in the industry that we're in when someone is like, I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to start my online training business. I'm like, dude, your risk is like $0. You
Exactly.
just say you're a coach and you're a coach in this field, which is, it's easier to be an online coach than it is to get like it through like a barber school or something, like to cut someone's hair, and you're from that field.
Yeah.
You like the amount of work you have to do that is more than handling someone's health. That is crazy to me.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm a hypocrite because I got in that way. I got certified and just started doing it. But to see, like, we're in a time where there's never been so many good coaches, but there's never been so many bad coaches either. And you don't know who's who.
Yeah. And I wonder, because, my view is so myopic now. I mean, I'm just so in the industry, and everyone I know is in the industry, really. So I don't know if other industries are similar. But the low barrier of entry is both great and terrible.
Yeah.
Because you do draw people from other worlds that I think are very good at what they do because of their experience. It's such and coaching is such a weird thing in that it's determined. Someone to be a good coach is not determined by just knowledge or just skill. It's this weird combination of the two.
It's everything. Yeah. Like someone asked, how do you find a coach? It's like, it's a bunch of everything. Some people, like a lot of our members will hit me up really early into their Stronger You journey and say, hey, I want to become a coach. What certification do I get? And I'm like, holy shit. Like, who are you? What did you do?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I do, because the way I look at it is like this. Would this person trust their fitness and nutrition with someone that just learned what to do in 4 weeks, followed our program for 4 weeks, got certified, now you can coach? No way. No way. You need to get deep into that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and again, this podcast is all about it, but it's like behavior. I mean, that's my that's my interest, and we see it just. It's such a big driver in something like fat loss, and there's just so much deep issues that come with it.
Oh yeah, Man, it's funny because you do see new coaches getting into the industry and they're like, my person won't listen to me. And I'm like, that's because you expected someone would pay you money and just do whatever the hell you said. It doesn't work like that, ever.
Yeah, there's great. Ben House in his one of his lectures says, he's asking the crowd like, how many of you people can be dictators?
Yeah.
And you're like, no, none of them. And these are all very experienced, highly qualified coaches.
Yep.
He said, no. He's like, I can be. Mike T. Nelson can be. And that's not necessarily a good thing. But people come to us because they want to be told what to do. So we can tell them what to do. The problem comes down the road where something changes or something different happens. All of a sudden, it becomes a lot harder to guide them. Sometimes
Right.
being the guide is way better than being the dictator because all of a sudden guiding someone, when you hit a snag is a lot easier.
Yeah.
You have to be someone who can take the luxury of choice.
And it's easy if somebody comes to you and is like, "Hey, here's my goal. I'll do whatever you say." That's
Yeah.
friggin' easy, man. That takes zero skill. But someone that is, stress eating and has all these challenges and these events and just can't get it together, that's what makes us fun, man. That's like we're problem solvers for people.
Yeah, and I think I think a great kind of on that line was I think someone asked you in a Facebook post or something was like, "Hey, I really want to work there." Like my favorite, how many hours do coaches work? And you were like a billion.
Yeah,
Because to me that question is like if that's your question, you're in the wrong because
yeah, and maybe context is important there. Maybe they just wanted to know if, they could do it on the side, but I don't know. I mean, anytime we put a job opening out there, we get slammed, and the questions we get and the requests and like these are things that you should ask when you've been working here for a year. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, what? What are you at? Like, you want this job because you want to work from home and take care of your kid all day. Like, that's not work.
Yeah.
That's not what we're doing.
Well-
You might work from home, but make no mistake, we are some of the hardest working people you will ever meet.
yeah, it's like I quantify it, and again, it's that there's days when it feels like work, but most of the time it doesn't. But I'll run out to go to jiu-jitsu and I'll come in at 10 o'clock at night and get out of the shower and I'm answering text messages. And
Yep.
I tell my clients, I'm like, if I'm awake, I don't care about texting with you. Like this is what I love to do.
Right.
And again, I think that's probably what made you successful in that is because you were the first person that told me, way before I started working for you, you were like, dude, just answer people's texts. Don't, because I was trying to follow this rule set that someone said where I can only talk to them once a week. And you're like, yeah, that's a good way to have someone fail after 7 days of.
Man, I don't get it. I don't get that. I understand this work-life balance bullshit, but if you're trying to make it, like you're trying to build some awesome stuff, like the best business ever, how the heck can you set limitations like that? I see it every day. These coaches are like, I'm not busy. Why can't I get clients? It's like because the ones you have don't like you. They don't like what you're doing. They're not going to tell anyone about you. They're going to tell people about us. And I'm happy with that. I will always try to be the best in the industry at what we're doing. And to me, service-based, it's easy.
So I think that leads into this. So what is it that then drives you? I know you said before that not working a job. What makes you want to be the best?
Dude, I think we're in like an interesting place where a lot of our members have been looking for something for so long and we have it, and knowing that we are responsible for how like healthy and happy and fit and just enjoy, like people can have such an enjoyable life because of us. Every single time I touch my phone or computer, we can help someone. And it sounds crazy because I was never this type of dude. I had no idea this was in me. Like I was not a selfish dude, but I didn't have enough. There wasn't enough me to give in the past. And now I'm like, holy shit, I can help so many people. Every single thing we do, every single thing we say makes someone better. It's like to me, it's like a no-brainer. Like put that shit out there. And I always think if we don't do that, we're doing worse. And that, like, there's something about getting worse that scares the shit out of me. I never want to go backwards.
Do you see this as like a compounding effect? Like as you started to help people, that's what drove you to want to help more?
Dude, I think it's some sort of addiction. I swear to God. I don't think there's anyone. I never met anyone as connected to their business as I am. It's crazy. I have to like lock my phone in another room because I will always pick it up. Because I know at any given moment someone is trying to talk to me or needs something. And I don't want to make people wait. I've always been very urgent with things.
Now moving, kind of into other avenues, the toy drive.
Yeah.
That's something that kind of developed out of this as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of crazy. The first year we did it, Alessi and I went to Target and we filled up a cart. It was like $640 or something. And I remember we were like, oh my God, like we have like, I don't know, 50 toys, 100 toys, whatever it was. And we donated them to Toys for Tots in Newburgh. And then the next year, we were like, all right, let's get the community involved. And I had everybody mail us toys here. And there was probably about 500 or so. And then this year, we filled a 12-foot trailer with toys. There was over 1,000. It was distributed multiple places in the community. And it's just incredible to see that people who don't really know each other, our Stronger You members, just want to help out. And they mailed toys. Like, it's crazy to see the giving nature and the generosity of people. You hear all this crap about people are terrible these days, this and that. People are actually really awesome if you let them show how awesome they are.
Do you feel that starts to push you then to want to do more of this? Is it this kind of positive reinforcement that drives you now, as opposed to maybe at first the fear of falling behind?
Yeah, it's. I think I'm in an interesting place, and I always kind of say this, like, you think, like, giving and being generous doesn't make you a good person. I think if you have the opportunity to give and be generous and you don't, that does make you a bad person. So, in other words, it should just be expected that if you can do something nice, you do it. And we're in like an interesting place because there are a lot of eyes on us now. There is not a responsibility, but like there's a way we can get more stuff out there for people, whether that's donations or food drives or Secret Santa stuff, like whatever. I just want to keep making this shit awesome. And some of like my marketing ideas are generated based on a twofold approach. If it can bring business in and if it can help someone else. And like I have an idea. I don't know if I could ever convince Krista of it. Like take like $100,000 marketing budget, get in a van, drive across the country, buy people groceries, and just market the hell out of what we're doing and just take care of people along the way. And instead of putting up $100,000 billboard somewhere or ad space on the internet, we're getting our shit out there and taking care of people. I think that could be really cool, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
No, but I think that's, kind of what we talk about, like conscious, corporate behavior is like capitalism doesn't have to be cutthroat. You can still make money and still be, benevolent at the same time.
Right. I never did anyone wrong in this business. I've had many people do it to me already. And I've never done anything. Like I try to play by the rules. I try to be a good dude, but I've had people steal my shit. I've had people poach clients. I've had people do some really dirty stuff that I'm like, man, the world is overweight and you're coming at me? You're trying to take my stuff? Like, what the hell?
But you haven't let that change the way you do things.
Hell no. No. There's been thoughts in my head that I'm like, oh, maybe we're giving too much to the clients and maybe we're teaching them so well they think they could do what we're doing and then they're just going to take our stuff and go run and try to start their own Stronger You. But I'm not going to do that because I'm not scared. I think we're the best. Come at me, steal my shit, try to take a couple clients. I'll serve ours better and they'll stay with us. and they'll tell their friends about us, not you, because we have the best team, we have the best service, we have the smartest coaches, we have the we are the most experienced coaches in the world. I don't think there's any team out there that worked this closely with this many people on these goals.
Yeah, probably not. I mean,
I don't think so.
the sheer numbers, and that's what was interesting. You said, when you finally quit, you're at probably 700 clients for that year.
Yeah.
Just for people referencing, that's about 100 times more than 99% of people in the fitness industry would have during the year. I mean, seriously, like if someone was working with 70 clients in a year, that would be a pretty banner year for most people.
Yeah.
Especially if you can keep them for longer than a 3-month period.
Yeah.
So, how do you personally define success?
Dude, I think of it's interesting. I think of success as doing what you want to do most of the time and doing very little of the things you don't want to do. I think if that's how someone can live a life, that means they are successful. I also think if you can help other people and make someone else's life happier, that's success. I don't think it's a money thing. Yeah, some people have these numbers in their head and they're like, well, if I have this, I'm successful. But you might be a terrible person that has money. And to me, that's not successful.
Yeah, success isn't defined by a number.
No. I think it's about the impact you leave on the world. And like in that case, like I'm like super fulfilled. Like this, I can't believe this is happening.
So what would you want your kind of final impact to be?
Oh man, I guess just like knowing that, like I always think in relationships or friendships or anything, if you leave the person better than you found them, you're good. And that, like, we're doing that thousands and thousands and thousands of times. People send us money and they become a better person every single time if they follow along, and they don't even have to be perfect. It's insane what we're doing, and the surveys we're putting out where we're measuring like the actual changes, not just like scale weight. It's crazy to know that every single person that walks through our doors or the internet doors is going to be left a better person in some way. They may not have this ultimate fat loss success, but they're going to probably, just through osmosis in our group, are going to be the smartest people in the room around nutrition almost everywhere they go. And that's stuff they can take with them for the rest of their life. How are we not how is this not worth it, or a life-changing like decision to sign up? It's a no-brainer to me.
And I think that's a pretty strong legacy. Again, people like, you think back on your obituary or what it's going to say.
Yeah.
And, I think probably the best thing that it could really say is like, made people better. Like,
right? Yeah. It's like, that's all you want to do, really. If you can make someone better, like, holy shit. That's why, like, it's weird. Like I joke, like with Krista, we'll be out. Someone will recognize me and I'll be like, oh, Krista, I'm a celebrity. And like, I just mess with her. Trust me, I don't really think that. But people are like, you changed my life. Like, you get it. You see that shit every single day.
Yeah.
We can open up 1,000 messages where someone's like, oh my God, thank you so much. I'd probably be dead if it wasn't for you. Like, holy shit.
Well, I think that's the unique thing for me is that at no point do I become callous to it. Every time I open up my emails, I'm like,
dude,
I don't think they realize how, like when someone's like, I lost 20 pounds, I'm like, do you realize what an achievement that is in this culture?
Yeah.
Like, this is insanity. And it's every single day.
Every day. Like, we could go into that group and I'm blown away, especially this time of year, December, and people are doing this. Yeah. Oh my God.
All right. So now we're going to close it up. You're my first guest, so I'm stealing this. It's an old like question form, but one of my favorite interview shows ever was Inside the Actors Studio, and he had used this great list of questions, and it's kind of an old list from like, actually I think Proust was the first person who did it, and like so it's like from the 1800s, but it's just kind of a modified list that kind of tells you how people think. So 10 questions. First one. What is your favorite word?
Shit. I say it all the time.
What is your least favorite word?
Can't.
Nice. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Knowing people are interested in what I have to say, it drives me to put more stuff out there.
What turns you off?
Laziness.
What is your favorite curse word?
Shit.
What noise or sound do you love?
The sound of a basketball going through a hoop, all net.
Very
It's one of the
specific.
best sounds in the world.
What noise or sound do you hate?
Crying babies on a plane, specifically.
Oh, God, that flight over Sedona. Screaming babies. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I think maybe photography. I really like taking nice pictures. I don't know if I'm any good, and I might, depend on Instagram filters a little bit too much, but I really like taking nice pictures.
Now, is that something you ever thought maybe pursuing a little bit further?
I actually have. I have some decent cameras and equipment. I do want to take some classes and stuff. I don't know if I'd ever sell anything, but I would definitely take some stuff and edit and put it out there.
Very cool. What profession other than yours would you not like?
Oh, man. Oh, God. I actually thought of this the other day, and I forgot it. I think anything that includes, like, manual labor in the heat is what I wouldn't want to do.
All right, and the last question. If heaven exists, what would you like to have God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
I don't know. Maybe something like, thanks for keeping people out of here longer. You let people stay on Earth a little longer.
That's pretty.
That's deep. You're going to make me all emo, dude.
No, you know what? I think that's a good thing to kind of close off on. Is like
Yeah.
we talk about fat loss and like confidence, but like at the
It's
end of the
deep.
day, there's a lot of people that are going to be alive a little bit longer because of the work
Dude,
that you're doing.
there's like 1,000 I could think of. Like it's crazy.
And at the end of the day, I mean, that's a driver that you can't put a price on.
No, dude. Like abs are cool. Like being stronger is cool, but being alive longer, like that's the shit that matters.
All right. Good work. We got
Cool.
your email. I was hoping to get there at some point.
My-
So again, just thank you, Mike, for being my first guest. It was somewhat selfish of me because just me personally, this job has been life changing for me. Even though I was doing this as a career and I was doing and it's nothing financial, but there was something about the transition when I came on board and the ability to help more people and to really feel being a part of something bigger. I think is something that, especially in this time of internet entrepreneurship, that I think so many people ignore. They think it's so good to be on your own and do all this, and you're supposed to be this or that. But being a part of something bigger is often at times so much more rewarding.
Yeah.
So along with all our members, I personally thank you because this is I've never had satisfaction like this in my life. I've worked in God knows how many jobs and multiple careers, done. People. I talk to my clients about this all the time about goal setting. I achieved all the goals in my careers that I kept setting up, and nothing led to that personal satisfaction. And now I don't have any. I mean, I have goals, personal goals, but I don't have any real goals. It's the day to day. Like my work is now what brings me satisfaction, and that's a pretty amazing thing.
Dude, I love it, man. I'm so happy to have you on the team. I think you're an incredible dude. And it's like, if we could help you help more people, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's again, it's a great legacy to leave. So thank you again, Mike, my first guest. This is my new podcast, In Search Of.
Dude, thank you very much.
All right, buddy. Talk to you later.